So basically, we'll die.
Probably. I think we should be afraid of it. But if we fail, climate change will be least of our concerns, I think.
Well, that's helpful. Oh my god. A podcast.
Yeah. Seems so.
It seems so. A lot of people have wished for this. And it's taken a couple of years, but let's see if anybody is interested, and please like and subscribe, and we'll make more of these.
And we'll also see if we have enough interesting stuff to talk about.
Yeah, you never know. It might be only this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I contacted you to be in this podcast because I have so much AI dread, and I thought I need to talk to Kirill. And you very, what do you say? You obliged.
Yeah.
And said, yeah. Okay. Because, okay. And let's start with why we are here and who we are. So we used to work together, and you became TikTok famous.
Kind of accidentally.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
Yeah, we made... So it's, if you go to TikTok and you look up Vilpe, it's a ventilation and roofing brand, and there you can see a lot of Kirill. Or some of Kirill. But the big videos with millions of views were usually with you.
Yeah.
And we talked, I was behind the camera, and the videos that did really well were when we talked about philosophical stuff and like life skill stuff.
All kinds of random stuff.
Yeah. Have you felt that outside of TikTok, that you are TikTok famous?
Well, I mean, sometimes people come up to me and say, I know you from somewhere, and I say, probably TikTok, and they usually say, no, I don't watch TikTok. Must be somewhere else. And after a few minutes, they admit that, oh, it must have been TikTok after all. So,
yeah,
barely famous.
Barely famous.
Yeah.
Well, people wanted merch and stuff.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, this podcast, we're doing it all on our free time, so we'll see where this goes. Yeah, so I was asking you questions, and it was so, like, I mean, the answers you gave, they changed my life also, I would say. I thought a lot about the things that you talked about, and I could see that people in the comments were like, really, they needed that kind of content. A lot about stress and life work balance and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but because we both work with marketing, and in marketing, AI feels like it's coming in hard. Like,
yeah. It's definitely one of the fields where it has come up the fastest, probably.
Yeah, and when you go around on YouTube or somewhere, there are all these doom and gloom videos where people talk about, like, AI will take all your jobs, or what jobs will be safe from AI, and how will the world look? Like, should we be afraid?
I don't think it's pointless to be afraid. I think we should be afraid a bit, especially for like the work market and stuff like that. And also, it is a bubble, a huge bubble.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you compare it to the .NET bubble, the structure is completely similar, only it's bigger. And the fact that it's a bubble doesn't mean that it won't work. It won't be useful. Internet was useful, but it was still a bubble. Because, like, there are thousands of fairly big companies that are, like, valued immensely due to their AI investments. And when the market will finally settle on the winners, there will be a huge crash. Same that was with internet.
Yeah, but when the .com bubble burst, that was like 2000 or something. Like you count the number of .com or internet companies then, and you look at it now, it's like so much more now.
Yeah,
even though, of course, the bubble bursts, a lot of companies maybe weren't valued as much as before, but still it was like really big. It doesn't mean that there will be no AI in the future.
Yeah, definitely
even though
not.
The bubble.
Yeah, it is bubble because there will be winners in the future. So it's sensible to like invest in AI, which is why so much investment has been made into AI. But there will be a huge crash at some point anyway, when the winners have been decided.
How far off do you think that is? Bubble
I think it's probably quite close.
Have you read the AI 2027 or heard about it?
I have heard about it. I haven't fully read it, but I know more or less.
They predict a lot of things that will happen by 2027, and that's very close. That's like a little over a year away, and that we will have super intelligence and AGI. I think they say in that, and then other things that will come. But like it paints a picture that a lot will have happened by 2027.
But it's dependent fully on AGI, which might be impossible in the way we think about it.
But you actually told me one thing. I asked you about AGI before. Could you, like, because you said, and that stuck with me. You said that we have had in the past, images of what AI or AGI is. And what you said, it was like when you can play chess. Well, it can play chess and win over a human being. Then we have AGI. And then what happened?
When we got it, it wasn't AGI anymore. It was just an algorithm, because it basically, artificial intelligence has always been something that we imagine in the future. And as artificial intelligence develops, we shift the goalposts each time. So I think AGI will probably be 2 years in the future forever. Because even if we get something that's AGI on current definitions, we will just shift the goalposts.
That's like when people say, like, no, AI will never take my job because look at the way it's making videos. I can identify AI videos. And I'm like, but we're on the cusp of not being able to. Like, it's the worst it's ever going to be right now. And of course, they can still maybe identify some of them, but it's the same with that. I'm like, no, you can't look at what it's now and say it's bad because look what it can't do.
And like with text, I mean, obviously, like basic ChatGPT generated text, you can actually tell that it's ChatGPT. But as long as you apply like a decent editorial AI to it to make it less AI-like, you basically can't tell nowadays if an article has been written by AI or not. And we have gotten pretty much to that point with photos as well. Videos you still can tell, but like 2 years ago, you basically couldn't generate videos yet.
Yeah. It was just like, when was you remember the Will Smith video of him eating spaghetti? It was like,
I think
horrendous.
That was
That was
maybe 4 years ago, the first one. And the
when did
second,
he?
also quite horrendous version, was like 2 years ago. And now there was a couple of months ago one that was almost perfect.
But the biggest scarecrows, what do you say? Like they say, so AI will, like humans will go extinct because of AI. Like, let's say they are in this end of the spectrum, and then there are the people who say, no, 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 it's just like, it's a big bubble, nothing will really happen. It will, like, everybody says that it will take all the jobs. It hasn't taken any job yet. Like, where are you on this scale?
That's a difficult question to answer. Because ending humanity by accident via AI is quite simple, in a way. It doesn't, like if you look at basic like AI safety research, we have already abandoned almost all safety measures just for profit. Because like initially all of these AI companies, they had fairly strict like safety protocols that they were at least claiming to follow. But slowly but surely every safety researcher has been taken out of those companies just to make the work go faster. And like even if some companies would follow like safety concerns, there will be companies that won't, and they will be faster. So it is definitely a problem. It's kind of hard to say how big a probability it is that something bad will happen. But in a way, even just the amount of misinformation we will be inundated with can also be humanity ending in a way.
Yeah.
So there's definitely reasons to be doom about AI, certainly.
Yeah. I heard some when they had taken a lot of AI scientists, both the pessimistic ones and then the optimistic ones, and they had some like the average percent of how much they thought that the average probability that AI would end humanity was like 7% or something. Like that's quite high. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to play the lotto or go to a casino? That's quite good odds if you want to play. It's like almost 10%. Do you think it's possible to make it safe? Still?
It's technically possible. There are still problems that haven't been solved with like alignment and stuff, but they shouldn't be unsolvable problems. The only issue is that there isn't really financial incentive to solve them. So, and they essentially become problems, like real problems, only when and if we actually develop AGI and like release it into the world to actually make actions in the real world.
So basically we'll die.
Probably. Possibly.
From AI.
Possibly.
Okay, so you think that's like 5 years in the future, or 10 or 100?
It's very difficult to tell, because I think that would require us to actually manage to make an AI that is getting exponentially more powerful, that it can like improve itself and can like grow exponentially in things that it can do. In that scenario, it has to be very carefully from the beginning aligned with our goals. So because we can't just tell it to do what we want, we need to specify. It has to be completely aligned with our goals. But the problem is that we don't even know what our goals are. So we can't really make it aligned at all, because people have all kinds of different goals.
Do you feel AI dread?
I think it might be pointless to feel dread about it.
Yeah, but you can still feel it, like.
I mean, it's definitely like the most important problem in like coming decades, certainly.
More than climate change?
If we get AI right, we should be able to fix climate change quite easily.
Well, that's hopeful.
Yeah. But if we fail and manage to make a dangerous AI, climate change will be least of our concerns, I think.
Ah, oh my God.
Because, like, for example, climate change, yeah, it's incredibly important issue, obviously, but it's a political issue. Like, if we imagine it simply as a technological problem, like with infinite money and stuff, it isn't actually that difficult to solve. And it wouldn't even be that incredibly expensive to solve. Like, if all of the countries contributed like 5% of their GDP towards solving climate change, we would solve it quite easily, even if we got like way too far into essentially point of no return, we could pull it back. But obviously the financial incentive isn't there. And it's the same with AI safety.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about like because like if AI would kill us, would kill humanity, how would it be done? But one thing I've thought about in this scenario where AI takes most of the jobs, or it's more difficult to get jobs, is that it's like we had the Industrial Revolution. It took a lot of the manual labor jobs, but those people that maybe had those kinds of jobs got other kinds of jobs. Now AI is going, of course, for the more intellectual or jobs that you have studied a long time for. Like we know it's like attorneys, doctors, stuff like this. And when you have studied for that long for something, like prestige, I imagine, is quite important to you. It's a big part of who you are. And you have put a lot of money and time into studying that. And you couldn't predict that AI, like who could predict that AI would come in and take these kinds of, so it's like when you have a lot of people on high up places high up in the society with a lot of status, and suddenly you just cut their feet away. Like that's what does it do to humanity and people when you take away a lot of their meaning? I'm not saying your job is your whole meaning, but maybe if you have that kind of job, it is quite a big part of meaning in your life.
Yeah, and just our societal structures aren't ready for that at all. Like if you imagine a situation where we can actually like automate most of intellectual labor, or kind of like all of the office jobs and stuff like that, and even like something that we essentially would have almost the technology to automate today, like transportation and stuff like that, which are, that's still a huge job sector in all countries.
It's, I think, the biggest one in the world.
Yeah. And that's something that, like, if you look at all of the, like, industrial revolution and even, like, the internet revolution, information revolution, yes, many jobs went away, many new jobs were created, but still, if you look at the biggest sectors, they are ones that have been there from like ages ago. And many of them are going away now. So we would still, no matter how this turns out, I would still think we might be looking at like 50% unemployment rate after all of this. And our societal structures just have to be ready for that, which is something that they definitely aren't.
No, what's the solution to that?
I mean, it has
universal basic income.
Yeah, it has to be something like that. And you would have something like an AI automation tax. That if your company puts someone out of job by using automation tools, they would have to pay some sort of tax, maybe proportional to that. Or we just have to more aggressively tax the big AI companies, which we aren't doing at the moment at all.
That's like do you think that would work? Because I'm thinking like when some people say, no, nobody has lost their job because of AI. It's all overblown. But I'm like, no, they have.
Yeah.
Like, look at translators.
And like if you even look at the current job market, in most countries, they haven't really started to lay people off yet, but hiring numbers have dropped immensely. Like the job market is incredibly stagnant. Companies at the moment still hold on to the people they have, but hiring has collapsed. And like, especially in office environments, I think AI is quite a big portion of that collapse, I would imagine.
But even if people get some universal basic income, like we solve that problem, you have a lot of people without a purpose in the work market. Like that feels so dangerous.
Yeah, and that will be a huge societal shift. Definitely.
Yeah. Are you prepared for this? Like, what if you would? I don't think like you're really into this. You will be able to surf this wave. But let's say you would become without a job. You can't get any job anywhere. Like, how would you cope?
I would probably be fine. I would just sit in my basement and make games for fun or stuff.
Because that's the thing with this podcast. Because we could ask, like, do we need another podcast in this world? And I do think we need this one. Because I think you would be completely fine. And I think we all need to learn from that to prepare for whatever comes.
Yeah, I think the best preparation you can do is to get a hobby that's free and interesting. In that case, even if you end up without a job, without meaning, you can find your own meaning.
What's your hobbies, your free hobbies?
Currently, I'm making video games for fun.
You make video games?
Yeah.
What kind of games?
All kinds of games. I actually, just last week, I won a game jam for a game I made in 48 hours.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
I've had
a game
jam,
like some kind of game jam.
Yeah, it's like an event, short event that people gather and everyone makes a game for a certain theme in like limited time frame.
Okay, where was this?
It's just online.
Online. And you made a game and it won.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many participants? Like 5?
It was like 200 or something.
Of course.
But it was a small for a game jam. There are like game jams with hundreds of thousands of people.
Okay. Well, I encourage, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening, I guess one can write comments on Spotify. I don't know if we need a big enough audience or if people can do it already. But even you can find us. We'll put on screen all the places you can find us. And please go and write comments and questions, and we'll get back to you with more solutions to your AI dread and life skills to live a good life. You have any last words?
if you find some kind of meaning, I guess any life can be a good life. Should be fine.
That's good. Thank you so much for this time. See you in the next episode.